Should you incorporate? Well, this video is dedicated to discussing why and how you can incorporate. Now, deciding which legal structure is best for your business is one of the first and most important things you must do when opening a business. How would you like to reduce your taxes? Well, you're going to learn in a few minutes how one person saved $4,500 in federal taxes by simply incorporating his business. How would you like to slash your chances of an audit by 90%? Sole proprietors are more likely to file incorrect returns, as many of them are self-prepared, and they tend to underreport revenue or overreport deductions. For these reasons, the IRS audits a much higher percentage of sole proprietor tax returns than corporate returns in recent years. Schedule C filers stood a 1 in 50 chance of being audited, whereas only 1 out of 500 S corporations were audited. That means that sole proprietors are about 10 times more likely to be audited than corporations. How would you like to protect your family's assets? Well, if you're using the wrong business structure, and most businesses are, you're personally liable if you get sued. Business owners such as yourself are facing criminal prosecution, civil judgments, fines, bankruptcy, and even court orders, barring them from conducting any type of business ever again. Why? Because these businesses made one or two simple mistakes in the way they did business. So, what are your choices? You can be a sole proprietor, a partnership, a limited liability company, also known as an LLC, an S corporation, or a C corporation. Hi, my name is Ed King, and I received an MBA with honors from the University of Michigan, and I am a certified public accountant. Before working at Wayne State University, I spent 7 years as a consulting manager with PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the largest consulting and accounting firms in the world. There I learned many of the tax savings activities and management improvements that large businesses use. Now, I've written 3 books in the area of small business management and have been featured in many newspaper articles concerning the challenges of small businesses. I was highlighted in the book The Obvious Expert and have been on several television shows, including Michigan Matters. In other words, I know what the heck I'm talking about. I have been teaching Wayne State University small business classes in the Detroit area for almost 30 years. When I started at Wayne State, I observed that many businesses have many of the same problems that large businesses do, but without the resources to pay consultants $300 plus an hour to help them solve them. So I went from working on large corporations one-on-one to doing group therapy for smaller companies. At this point, I realized I could give smaller businesses the same level of expertise at a fraction of the cost by putting together a group of small businesses with many of the same problems and teaching them all at once. I can't believe the misinformation that is out there regarding business structures and the tremendous mistakes that people make in deciding on the best legal structure for their business. These are not stupid people. Many times these potential small business owners read articles, talk with other business owners, even retain the services of an attorney or accountant to help them make the right decision, and that information many times is flat out wrong. Even book publishers get it wrong. NOLO's Legal Guide for Starting and Running a Small Business states for the majority of small businesses, the relative simplicity and flexibility of the LLC makes it the better choice. Wrong. What are your choices? Well, remember, we have 5 options: sole proprietor, partnership, limited liability, S corporation, and C corporation. If you want to protect your assets, make sure you eliminate sole proprietor and partnership. It's downright scary as a self-employed person. Your home, your cash, stocks, and other personal assets are always at risk. The big fear is that a business disaster, which is beyond anyone's control, could happen to you. It's estimated that over 85 million lawsuits are filed each year. Actually, there's a strong possibility that you'll be sued even if you're very careful. You could lose everything, often on some technical point of law with which you are unfamiliar. If so, boom, just like that, you could lose your business. If you are sued and have not incorporated or created an LLC, in other words, you're a sole proprietor or partnership, then you will have personal liability. And almost no amount of insurance can protect you from the various risks like a corporation or an LLC can. With these, you can limit your personal liability. All that is at stake is the money you have invested in the business. Because only corporate assets need to be used to pay business loans, you stand to lose only the amount of money that you invested in the company. The next thing we're going to look at is avoiding double taxation. The problem with a C corporation is double taxation. This means if your business makes a profit, it will have to pay tax on that profit on IRS Form 1120. When you receive the same profit as a dividend, you will have to pay tax on it again on IRS Form 1040, Line 9A. An alternative to C corporation, which eliminates double taxation, is the S corporation. All revenue and expenses are reported to the federal government on IRS Form 1120-S. However, no taxes are due. You avoid corporation taxes completely. Another disadvantage of the C corporation occurs if you have business losses, which are quite common in the first few years of a business. And this is what they call business loss pass-through. If you're a sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, or an S corporation, these business losses will pass through to your personal tax return, reducing your taxable income. If you're a C corporation, the losses are locked into the corporation, and the only time you can use the losses to reduce your taxes is when your business finally makes a profit. Now let's talk about the difference between an LLC and an S corporation. The government encourages people to incorporate, which is a little-known fact. The government has recognized the important role of small business in our country. There are a number of tax laws favorable to corporate owners. Some of them are remarkable in this age of ever-increasing taxation. Many of your expenses may be tax-deductible expenses. You know, you can write off travel for the business, the wages you pay your children if they work in the business, an office in a home, business meals, computer equipment, etc., and you can put up to 25% of your profits into a SEP retirement plan. Many people choose a limited liability company for two reasons. One, they have limited liability, and number two, the paperwork is minimal. However, this conclusion lacks a knowledge about federal taxes. Even veteran accountants and lawyers make this mistake. You will always pay the same federal income tax if you're a sole proprietor, partnership, LLC, or S corporation. But there is a world of difference in self-employment tax. Now, self-employment taxes are also called Social Security or FICA. This tax, in addition to the federal income tax, is 15% of your entire profits. For example, if you make $50,000 in your business, you will pay federal income tax, state income tax, city income tax, and $7,500 in self-employment tax. Now, we can reduce this amount dramatically by incorporating and identifying the profits as distributions and not salary, because, and here it is, there is no self-employment tax on distributions. So what we have here is the business owner in the bottom right-hand box separating the $50,000 into salary and distribution. And because he pays no self-employment tax on the $30,000 distribution, he will save $4,500 per year. Now this is where it really gets interesting. If the owner from the previous example takes his $4,500 in savings and invests it in the stock market, and let's assume that the market goes up 11% per year, and yeah, I know some years are better than others. However, this is the average return on investment for stocks for the last 100 years. If he puts $4,500 into his retirement plan, for example, a SEP plan available at most banks and stock brokerage firms, the $4,500 would be tax deductible, and it would grow tax-free until he finally decides to take the money out. Now, if he'd done this for each of the 10 years before he retired, his investment would have grown to $84,000. If he started 20 years ago before retirement with the same assumptions, his investment would have grown to $321,000. And 30 years before his retirement, with the same assumptions, he would have accumulated $994,000. So really, what we have found out that the only alternative is an S corporation. Some additional advantages of an S corporation is it'll prove your credibility, it'll attract equity investors, it'll ensure continuity, share responsibility, reduce or eliminate probate costs, and increase your Social Security checks from age 62 to 66. It's no wonder that over 50,000 people like you incorporate each month in the United States. So if you decide to incorporate, what is the next step? Well, you could see lawyers, you could do it yourself, or you could use scorpnow3. It was recently reported in Detroit's Crane Business. Be prepared to spend $1,500 to $3,500 to have your registration done by professionals. The second alternative is to do it yourself. Yes, you can if you understand the IRS's instructions. Are they easy to understand? Well, here are the actual instructions for Form 2553. If your business purpose is based on one of the natural business year tests provided in Section 5.03 of Revenue Procedure 2002-39, identify which test you are using, the 25% gross receipts, annual business cycle, or seasonal business test. For the 25% gross receipts test, provide a schedule showing the amount of gross receipts for each month of the most recent 47 months. Isn't this easy? And the second problem is you can make a mistake that can cost you up to $3,200. For example, the IRS instructions for Form 2553 state if you check box Q1, you will be charged a user fee of $3,200. The third option is to use scorpnow3. Now, as stated before, some attorneys will charge you $1,500 to $3,500 to incorporate your business. We will provide the same service to non-students only for a short period of time for any state for only $97, and the $97 is tax deductible. Now, there are many other companies on the internet that will incorporate you. They will quote a low price, but then they nickel and dime you to death. Many charge extra for the Forms SS4, 2553. They have a shipping and handling charge. Our price is $97 out the door. Make sure that you understand when evaluating various companies that will do your paperwork the difference between external and internal documentation. Now, all incorporation services do external documentation. In other words, they'll send off your form to the state government, then they'll provide you with an SS4 and a 2553 to the federal government. A lot of them will not do the internal paperwork. In other words, you must have corporate minutes, corporate bylaws, and stock certificates on file at your business. It's simple. We'll provide you with a sample filled out set and a blank set for you to fill out, and it should only take about 5 minutes. Keeping records has always been a bother, especially for smaller businesses. You should look at corporate record-keeping chores this way. It's part of the price that you pay to get the tax advantages and personal protection of a corporation. Well, how can you guys be so inexpensive? Well, first of all, we have a minimum of overhead. No fancy offices, no large advertising budget, and my salary is paid by Wayne State University. We do hundreds of corporations for our business students every year, and we are set up only to do S corporations and LLCs. All I need from you is the name, address, and Social Security of each shareholder, the name of your business, the type of business, and your telephone number. For the first 20 people who incorporate with us during this promotion, we'll give you a couple bonuses. Now, the first bonus is a book called How to Slash Your Smaller Business Taxes, and this book has a value of $97. This book contains hundreds of money-saving tax ideas that have saved our students millions of dollars in taxes. The second bonus, you will receive a half hour of consulting with me. You can ask me any business question or tax question. I wish I could provide this personal consulting for everyone, but given my busy schedule, this is all the time that I can allocate to this project. Money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with the job that we do, just return the papers and we will issue a complete refund. The complete package will be in the mail within 48 hours. We can also create a PDF file and email you the forms for no extra charge. And if you have any questions at all, please call me at 586-771-3618. When do you want to start saving on taxes and protect yourself from an audit? Now or 3 years from now? When is the best time to incorporate? Yesterday. Whether you use us, do it yourself, or use another service to incorporate, do it now. Don't let another day go by risking your family assets and paying too much in taxes. Just do it now. Now again, this is tax deductible, and think about it. For the price of a dinner, you can save thousands in taxes and make your business bulletproof.